One day I suddenly gained access to hundreds of thousands of euros. The very first thing I did was pay off my debts. The second I bought my wife another Mercedes. Where did the money come from? My version is simple. Thank you, Gorbachev, and your pay raise troika. The collapse of the Soviet Union, the sudden rise of capitalism, and the massive impoverishment of millions turned a few thousand people into overnight owners of industrial assets, created by generations of Soviet citizens over 70 years. And I happened to be nearby. I offered my services, and that's how fortune came into my life. But my wife has her own version. According to her, everything I have comes not from economics or politics, but from her meditations and her way of thinking. After receiving yet another Mercedes from me, she said,
"Do you know why I love this shade of red so much? Red is Muladhara, the root chakra, the earth, the foundation on which life itself rests. You didn't just give me a Mercedes. You gave me an energy source, a pulse of confidence, a force that drives me forward. Every time I sit in this car, I feel protected, strong, and supported by the man who believes in me. You didn't give me a car, you gave me wings upon the earth."
Of course, there was also a more mundane reason. My old Rover, the workhorse, had given all it could give, and it was time to replace it with another practical car. So I kept the golden C-Class for myself and ordered a CLK coupe for my wife from England. I even joked, let S just take another Mercedes to blend in with the crowd of Cypriot taxi drivers, since on the island, most taxis are black E-Class Mercedes. But fate had other plans, and what finally arrived was a red Mercedes CLK coupe. I went through local dealers, who searched for a car in England. The choice was not about color at all, but about mileage and condition. When I saw the photos on Auto Trader and received assurances from the agent, I placed the deposit. After 3 long weeks, the ship carrying the car finally reached the port. When I first saw it, I was impressed. For a 5-year-old car, it had only 45,000 kilometers on the odometer. The leather seats were pristine. The body gleamed. New wheels, new tires. After customs, registration, and polishing, I picked it up from the dealer. He even let me sit behind the wheel of his white BMW M6 before handing me the keys. Driving the CLK felt much like the C-Class, though it was slightly wider and longer. The sports seats held me tight, the coupe windows narrowed the view, and there was no classic Mercedes badge on the hood. But the white dashboard shone beautifully at night, and the 6-disc CD changer promised music for the road. The car is a 2006 model purchased in 2010, 4 years old, with a 1.8L gasoline engine producing 163 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, and a Tiptronic transmission. The equipment was simpler than the golden C-Class. No AMG pedals, no big perforated brakes, no electric seats, no parking sensors. But that was fine. I began improving it myself. First, a full service, filters, oil, front brake discs and pads, 480 euros. The mechanic's verdict, excellent condition. Next day, wheel alignment for suspension bolts replaced, 150 euros. Then, installation of a rear parking sensor, the same model as on the C-Class, 150 euros. Window tinting, rear in deep 20%. Side windows in lighter 35%, 160 euros. By Friday, after a careful wash and some touch-up paint for tiny scratches, the car was ready. I photographed it, and with a sense of pride and accomplishment, handed the keys to my wife. That evening, she gave her own poetic blessing.
The Mercedes emblem is a symbol of quality, trust, stability. Red is the color of passion, emotion, love. And a coupe, it means intimacy, just two, like the essence of a relationship between a man and a woman. This red Mercedes is not just a car, it is a union of the material and the spiritual. A vehicle that carries us through the physical world, and a color that reminds us that life energy is what drives us forward, gives us courage, and keeps us balanced. Each time I sit behind the wheel, I awaken Muladhara, filling myself with the earth's power, with life itself.
And for me, on weekends, when we drove to the sea, I would sometimes take the wheel. The red color lifted my spirits, like a private session of color therapy, a reminder that sometimes a car can be far more than just a car. It can be a story, a symbol, a pulse of energy on wheels. Sometimes, what seems like just a car is really a mirror of life itself. The red Mercedes was not only about money, or luck, or even meditation, it was about believing that energy follows thought. When you dare to trust your path, life responds, giving you exactly the wings you need to move forward.